Hey guys, this is Cody with Indie Game Pulse, and today we're reviewing not one, but the two most highly anticipated story games that came out in September 2020. We'll tell you which game we think is the best, and in our opinion, it's not even close. Let's get into it. Starting off with When the Past Was Around, if you haven't seen or heard of this game, where have you been hiding? Seriously, we've been seeing this hand-drawn beauty everywhere, with its bohemian chic art style that reminds us of your favorite Pinterest decor boards. The story follows Ida, a young woman with a mysterious and musical love interest who we think is just a hoot. The game is a traditional point and click, not requiring anything other than a mouse and your imagination. You do need to be creative and think outside the box in your puzzle solving, as this is how more and more of the story is unlocked. We at Indie Game Pulse found the puzzles to be interesting and challenging, while also giving some background and depth to the characters, such as revealing their names or hobbies. Some puzzles even took us around 20 to 30 minutes to solve, but they granted such satisfaction when we finally completed them. Even though there is no character movement in-game, as you proceed through the disjointed rooms, you feel the story progressing and unfolding as you flash back to the past over and over again. With just two, or really even one main character being isolated throughout the entire game, we felt an intimate connection with her by the end of the story, even though there is no dialogue throughout. It is a difficult yet beautiful way in which the story is told solely through imagery and music, and it allowed our imaginations to run freely. While we're on the subject of music, can I just say how much the soundtrack personally connected with me? It's simple, it's elegant, and it took me back to a simpler time when my wife and I were newly married, and we enjoyed sitting on the couch together just playing the guitar and singing our favorite songs. When the Past Was Around costs $8, and at about 2 hours of gameplay, we think this is a very fair price for something that I personally played again right after completing, and then watched my wife play it too. Moving on to our second game, and one that we've been looking forward to playing all year long, Welcome to Elk also tells its story through a hand-drawn world, but in a completely different direction. The quirky coloring book art style and goofy movement throughout the game, well, we feel it serves to mask the grim stories of the folks living in the town of Elk. You play as Frigg, a young woman who moves to the island for an apprenticeship that keeps being interrupted by the more interesting goings-on of the town. From day one, there is always something going amiss, and no one in town seems to be able to get a normal day of work done. And once Frigg is finally home at night, the dreams that she has complicate things even further. The story plays out in an extremely linear fashion, with your character always reminding you which location to visit or who to talk to, without other interactions being available. This lack of choices made us feel, at times, like we were just clicking buttons and running between locations in order to get to the next point in the story. However, the abundance of weird stories from a varied cast of characters were funny, sad, and just in general made us feel more sympathetic towards the world. The live-action video segments conveying the somewhat outlandish stories also served well to add gravity and reality to the game, since it is based on true-to-life stories. Welcome to Elk was interspersed with some fun and accessible minigames, which never overwhelmed us with their difficulty, and also connected us to the characters in one way or another. One minigame in particular was pretty moving and emotional for us. At between 4 to 5 hours of gameplay and priced at $15, we also feel that this is a fair price, but we do feel like we've seen just about everything there is to see. Really quickly before we get to the verdict, if you enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up button. It helps our videos get seen by more people like you. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, as well as top indie game countdowns, be sure to subscribe for more weekly content. And now for our conclusion. Welcome to Elk has great stories and interesting characters, but everything that Welcome to Elk does well, When the Past Was Around does even better. We would classify Welcome to Elk as a storytelling game, with the focus being put on listening to and reading stories from a diverse group of people, while When the Past Was Around is a story discovery game where you, in a sense, unwrap the beautiful gifts under the Christmas tree until you reach the last and biggest one. where Welcome to Elk directs your discovery of new important pieces to a story, telling you where to go and who to talk to. When the Past Was Around directs you to discover and unfold this story for yourself, never being told what the story is, but allowing you to intuit what each room and each clue means. This sense of discovery is what sets this game apart the most, in our opinion. There's no wasted time of movement or lengthy dialogue, but when you solve a hard puzzle and are granted another glimpse into the characters' lives, it is so satisfying and it is executed to perfection. The story feels real, the pain immense, and because misery loves company, we recommend everyone check out When the Past Was Around. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the video on your screen now to see the top 10 indie games coming out in October, and let us know in the comments below which 2 games you'd like to see reviewed in a video like this one. We'll see you next time.